If there are drive-thrus for coffee and donuts, why not for beer? A London beer store is moving ahead with plans to open Ontario's first drive-thru lane. The new lane will operate much like a fast food outlet. Customers will see a menu of beers to choose from and order from a speaker box. Beer store staff will place the beer in the trunk after ordering. The new drive-thru lane should be open for the Victoria Day weekend. Drive-thru beer stores. Do you think this is a good idea?
And just to preface this, yes, we do know that there used to be a drive-thru beer store up in Waterloo. What we're saying, this is the first one for the City of London. Okay, Diane, what do you think?
Actually, I think it's a good idea, except that you have a little less control for the staff to determine if a person in a vehicle is inebriated. The staff do check and make sure that if you have booze on your breath or are obviously drunk, wobbling or whatever, that you're not served. Now, how difficult is that going to be with a vehicle? By the same token, people want the convenience.
Well, they'll probably drive in and crash into the call box. Like
that would be a good indicator.
Sure, I mean, it's what people want. It's convenience. My only concern, and I guess, is the time it's going to take if the whoever the staff person is going to bring the beer out, put it in your trunk. Do you have empties? Because when we go back to 12 cases, don't tell anybody. But again, it's just another form of convenience, so why not?
Another form of convenience or another form of general laziness.
Absolutely.
Like, get out of your car, go in and grab your box of beer, go back to your car, put it in your own trunk, and be on your way. It's not needed. I don't know.
I think it's I guess it's a heads or tails thing. I think it's a laziness thing, too. We've gotten so used to just sitting in our cars for banking and everything else that for the few minutes it takes, I think you're better off walking in. And after drinking the beers, you probably should get the exercise anyway, so.
Okay, so for you two who think it's a good idea, we've just had some controversy where they're chastising Tim Hortons restaurant because they have the drive-thrus there, and then people are sitting there, smoke coming out their exhaust pipes, causing all kinds of pollution. Any thoughts on that?
No, but I will give you a thought that people who have a lot of children find it very convenient to go through the drive-thru instead of taking all their children, unbuckling them, taking them into the store, waiting with them in line, and then getting them all back into the vehicle.
And
so I can see in that case. But I don't know whether you're taking your children to the beer store or not.
You're saying drive-thru beer stores, it's for the children.
Well, wasn't there a story that came out that said the difference between the emissions coming out versus you idling versus you shutting the car off and starting back on again? There was more emission, more pollution by restarting your car again. And I'll be jealous if they don't do that for the liquor store, because I hate having... No.
I think at least the beer store has some sort of room for a drive-thru. As with the Tim Hortons, it's not only just in the parking lot, but they're usually parked out on the street, and it does create traffic problems. So at least with the beer store, if they're going to do that, I hope they at least have a decent drive-thru that it's not congesting traffic out on the street. And that's been a big beef of mine with Tim Hortons. But I'm not a coffee drinker.
I suppose it'll be use that determines it, though. If people use it, they'll keep it. If they don't use it, it'll probably just be...
What is kind of ridiculous, too, though, is if you go in to the Tim Hortons store or whatever, where there is this line of 20 cars, you go right up to the counter. Everybody's outside.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like, what's the point of having a store then?
And if it didn't work 15 years ago, why are they doing it now?
Well, I was just going to mention that. Like I say, we had one up in Waterloo, and I don't know what really happened to it.
Didn't last long.
Okay, we have to go. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more of the final round right after this.